What is going on, guys? My name is Family Shucks and welcome back to another video. So in today's episode, I'm going to be doing a quick stock analysis on a growth company that I recently discovered. How I discovered this company is that it has slowly been making a name for itself on the subreddits like R Stocks and R Investing. It hasn't really caught that much traction yet, but I think definitely in the long term or in the near future, it's definitely going to be a big presence in the technology sector. And I will say that this is a little bit out of my investing comfort zone. I would like to say that I am a value investor just because I think there's a little bit of difficulty in determining the fair value and the financial track record of these certain stocks to make a determination on their projected future value, especially with this company being very young. It recently IPO'd last year in 2019, so there isn't that much history for me to go off of, but based off of what I've read in terms of its financial health, how the company is run, its product, and its overall development, I think this company is very promising in the near future. But let me preface this first by saying that I am not a financial expert or anything of that sort, so make sure to do your own due diligence on this company and see if it is worth investing in your own eyes. But nonetheless, the company that we're going to be talking about for today is called Cloudflare. Now, you may have heard of Cloudflare. Its ticker symbol is NET, N-E-T, and you might have heard it being brought up in conversations in regards to Fastly or Acme Technologies. And what this company is an internet company that has a global cloud platform that really focuses on content delivery networks, security and cloud services, providing products that really improve the performance and reliability and also security of certain websites or applications. And the reason I believe this company is going to be so crucial in the near future and in the long term is because in terms of our technology, we are evolving towards things like cloud, 5G, and IoT, which are things that are becoming more prevalent in our everyday lives. And we're going to want things that are more reliable, more secure, perform better, all readily available at the palm of our fingertips. And that is essentially what our technology is evolving towards. And when you think of Cloudflare, it kind of comes up in conversations in regards to CDN, which is what I said, Content Delivery Network. But I think another side to Cloudflare is that it's very important in the edge computing market space. Now, edge computing and CDN are almost used in a very synonymous sense in terms of conversation. However, they're very much separate and shouldn't be used synonymously. But before I go any further, I kind of want to delve into what CDN is, because personally for me, I am not a very tech savvy person. So to the best of my abilities, from what I understand, CDN is essentially geographically distributing networks of servers and data centers all across the globe, and the goal is to provide high availability and performance by distributing the service spatially relative to the end users. And beforehand, I made the distinction that CDN shouldn't be used synonymously with edge computing. And I believe the reason being is because each of those terms have their own industry space. So you can see right here in this article, it says that the content delivery network market is anticipated to grow from 12.4 billion in 2019 to 22.1 billion by 2024. Now compare that to edge computing, where it says that the edge computing market worth is going to transition from a $3.5 billion industry and is anticipated to reach 43.4 billion by 2027. Now that is astronomically different, and for that reason, each of these terms, edge computing and CDN, should not be used synonymously just because of the potential growth of their market size in the coming future. Now, although Cloudflare markets a lot of its products in the CDN market space, I think its edge does come a lot, no pun intended, towards edge computing. So basically, now that we're evolving towards more things like the cloud, like with Microsoft Azure or Amazon AWS, we're going to need that middleman from the servers to the cloud to kind of enhance performance, reliability, and security. And I think that's where Cloudflare really sits in and has a lot of potential in the near future. So what kind of products does Cloudflare have? Now, I kind of mentioned this before, is that they offer security, performance, and reliability products. Now, me not being a very tech-savvy person, I just know that these are the products that they offer, and they seem to be working pretty well. They seem to be very strong with their DDoS mitigations and also their security. They have over 3 million total customers, 16% of Fortune 1000 companies are paying customers, and 51% of revenue is from outside of the US, because I do know off the top of my head that they are expanding a lot of their data centers and servers into China and across the globe. But they also have a very interesting marketing strategy as well, where they have a freemium model, where you can see that's part of their growth strategy, is by offering a freemium model. It helps them acquire new customers, and then over time, as you want to upgrade certain things or unlock certain features, it's a pay-as-you-go and also contracted subscription, which helps them increase their revenue. And I mean, I think that freemium model is working pretty well for them so far. They're in 200 plus cities, 100 plus countries, and they report that 99% of the internet connected developed world population is located within 100 milliseconds of their network. And because of how big Cloudflare's net is what leads to its secret sauce. Because it's reported, like I said before, approximately 10% of Fortune 1000 companies are paying customers, and 10% of the top million websites use at least one Cloudflare solution. Like I mentioned before, and like you saw before, Cloudflare offers a wide variety of services in terms of performance, reliability, and also security. And a lot of developers love how easy and simple their products are and how easily integrated they are to build upon for whatever they do in their developing days. And it was very difficult for me to try and find kind of a list of the kind of big top time customers that Cloudflare has, but hopefully this image right here is up to date. But I know off the top of my head, like companies like Shopify, Discord, League of Legends are some of the big companies that have been mentioned in articles. But you can see off the screen right here also websites like Salesforce, Bain Capital, Goldman Sachs, Yelp, Reddit, etc. also use Cloudflare products and services. And here's another thing too, is that when Cloudflare goes down, everyone would know because their top favorite websites are going to be down. Just like in this article, they recently had an outage, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and websites like Shopify, I think League of Legends, and Discord were having issues because they run off Cloudflare services and products. So for a company that IPO'd back in September of 2019 and has been around since 2009, they really do have a strong grip on big time companies and websites and applications that millions of people would be using on a day-to-day basis. Now, what about the financial health of Cloudflare? Because obviously we're not going to invest in a company that doesn't have strong prospects for their finances. So it's very important, because although Cloudflare only recently IPO'd back in 2019, they have been established for a few years. Unfortunately, in their 10K, they listed their financials for those previous couple years. So you can see it goes all the way back to 2017, and the top thing is that we can see growing revenue. So in 2017, it had a reported revenue of $134 million, and at the end of 2019, it increased all the way up to $287 million. However, one thing to very much pay attention to is its operating expenses. Now you can see in its sales and marketing, research and development, and also general and administrative expenses has also been increasing. Most importantly, it has grown dramatically in their sales and marketing and also in their research and development. Now at first glance, that is obviously a con because you're spending a lot. You're not profiting. As you can see at the bottom, for the past 3 years, Cloudflare has been operating at a net loss for its past couple years, and that's going to ramp up a lot. So obviously the biggest thing that I'm going to be paying attention towards Cloudflare is if they're able to convert their freemium customers to paid or being on a contract, because you want that inflow of money coming in. Cloudflare is doing something very smart, especially as a growth company, is that they're reinvesting in themselves. And you can see that in other growth companies like maybe say Tesla, where they haven't been profitable for a few years because they've been investing heavily back into their technology and their own company. And I think from the looks of it, Cloudflare is doing just that. So as of right now, from where it stands, I think Cloudflare is doing a great job on reinvesting in themselves and also in their products to provide better services to their customers. Another thing I'd like to point out is that over the past couple years, Cloudflare's gross margin has been very high. It's been sitting in the high 70 percentile. And if you don't know what gross margin means, it basically refers to the sales revenue a company retains after incurring like direct costs associated with producing the goods it sells and also the services and all that stuff. So basically, the higher the gross margin, the more capital a company like Cloudflare retains on each dollar of sales, which in turn can be used to pay other costs or potentially satisfy debt obligations. So by having a very high gross margin percentage, we know that Cloudflare is a cash generating machine, and as long as they keep this up for right now and also in the near future, they will have no problem paying off any debts or obligations that they have that they need to take on. Kind of following that point, if we look at Cloudflare's cash flow statement, we can see that it has no problem generating cash. It goes from 26 million back in 2017 all the way up to $145 million in cash at the end of 2019. And they're using some of that cash, like I said before, to reinvest in themselves. So you can see right here, they're spending over $43 million in property and equipment, which I can only imagine being the servers and data centers that they are opening up all over the globe. And kind of looking at their overall balance sheet as well, you can see that they have a very healthy balance sheet, total current assets being $689 million. Compare that to their total current liabilities just being $83 million, which is a crazy current ratio of like 8 point something. Now obviously, as an investor, sometimes having a very high current ratio is not very good, because that means that they're not really utilizing their cash on hand to the best of their abilities. But I have no worries, because they're probably just going to use that, like I said before, to reinvest in themselves. But you can see their total assets coming out to $830 million and their total liabilities being $104 million, which is a drastic change, at least for their assets, from 2018. You can see they only had about $300 million in assets in 2018, so they almost doubled that. Not even double, but like 2.5 did or something the following year, which is crazy. And it's nice to see that their liabilities didn't really increase that much in 2019 either. So they acquired more assets more than they did liabilities, which is nice to see. And last but not least, their Q2 earnings report came out last week, I believe, and they reported some pretty positive results. You can see the revenue, total revenue of $99.7 million, representing an increase of 48% year over year, which is a dramatic increase in revenue. And you can see that their gross margins sits at around 76%, and GAAP gross profits at $75.6 million, which comparison to $52.6 million back in the second quarter of 2019, which is also another big increase. However, they are still operating at a loss and have yet to be profitable, but I think that is because, like I said before, they're investing in themselves, they're investing in their services and products to provide better services for their customers. I think they also report that they're going to be hiring a lot more employees, which I guess is a good sign of financial health internally within a company, that they can afford to hire such a large amount of good talent, especially during this economy. But overall, what is my take on Cloudflare? So I invested pretty heavily in Cloudflare because I have such confidence in this company and also the outlook on where technology is going to be in the coming years. So this is a very long-term play for me. But I think Cloudflare has put itself in a very strong position to where it has acquired a lot of customers. A lot of companies depend on Cloudflare for its services and also its products in terms of improving performance and reliability for their websites, and also increasing their security and DDoS mitigation from these outsider attacks, because as we know, as we're moving towards a more technology advanced world, cybersecurity is going to be a very big thing. I honestly believe, based off of the due diligence I've done on Cloudflare in terms of its products and services that it offers, its position in terms of the potential of market space that it's in CDN and also edge computing, the future of this world in terms of technology, 5G and cloud, and its management and financial health, as long as they continue doing what they're doing, that this company definitely will have a return of 100% in the next 5 to 10 years. If you are someone who's looking into this company and has almost the same confidence as I do in terms of the future of technology and also in this company, then I think at $37 that this price is definitely a steal. I averaged down my cost basis over the past couple weeks and also today, bringing my cost basis down to $40, which isn't as low as I wanted, especially given the discount that this company is at. But I believe if you invest in this company at $36.99, that it's definitely going to pay off in the long run. And I think this is definitely a dark horse. Not a lot of people are really realizing it just yet, but this company has a lot of potential in the long run, and hopefully I can cover this more as time goes on. But that about wraps it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this kind of stock analysis about Cloudflare, and definitely take a look at it too if you are very much interested. But I do highly recommend for you guys to check this one out because I think it will be a great long play in the coming future. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.